G'day everyone, how you doing? Hope you're well. You should be feeling proud of yourself because you found the champ dog. Welcome to the coolest place on the internet. So we're going to be jumping back into some MTG Arena today, but first things first, very important, grab yourself a cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever it is you fancy, and let's have an old synchronized sip. I'll wait. All you have to do is press pause. I'm not actually waiting otherwise. There you go. That is hot. So this is our robust tea. I actually had some coffee in the morning. I was trying to do some recording this morning, but it might end up being an outtakes video. So what I was doing this morning was trying to play some Prismari spells in best of one ranked, and it did not work out well. It did not work out well at all. And I think a lot of the reason for that is I was leaning a little too heavily into the Strixhaven videos. So you can see my kitten in the laundry basket back there. I was going to get rid of the laundry basket because I'm sure you guys don't want to see that, but the little kitten is so happy in there. Look at her, little bundle of fluff, aren't you? Anyway, yeah, went pretty terribly because I think, as I said, I was leaning too heavily into the Strixhaven spells like Magma Opus and anyway, whatever they are, the cycle where you can discard to make treasures. So we're going to try hopefully a slightly more powerful version, using some more existing spells with hopefully a slightly higher power level. But I'll see you in the arena and I will walk you through the deck step by step. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Just real quickly before we do jump in, if you'd take a moment to hit like, if you're enjoying the content, subscribe if you're into that sort of thing. Helps me out, helps spread the good word, and helps spread the coffee club. So thanks, guys. Let's jump on in. So this is the deck, guys. I'm calling it Draconic Epiphany. So it's an updated take on the Goldspan Dragon Izzet lists of Kaldheim Standard. So I've played a few Prismari lists in Sealed and Limited over the last day, which I've had a lot of fun with, and all this morning I was playing a best of one version of this list based on one that CGB, Covert Go Blue, put out the other day, which was really fun, but I was not doing very well with it. And yeah, I wanted to try out a list based on his version because it looked like he was doing pretty well. My original idea for the list was basically to take one of these lists and just basically add Galazeth Prismari and some of the new Prismari cards like Prismari Command, Galazeth Prismari, and use something like Aron's Epiphany, Sublime Epiphany, spells we already knew were good. But the list I was playing this morning really leaned into the Strixhaven expensive spells like Magma Opus and Expressive Outburst or whatever it is. You know, the cycle of like expensive instants that you can discard for 2 mana to make a treasure token. And I just very rarely got to play them, and they didn't make that much difference when I did, so I thought I'd try something a little more similar to what I had originally intended, which is what we have here. So this is actually, I found a list that LSV put together over at Channel Fireball, and I've just made a few little tweaks, a few minor tweaks, because it was very close to what I was originally intending anyway. Made a few minor tweaks to just try out some of the things that I wanted to. And we'll just see how it goes. We may make some more changes as we play through the deck. But let's just break it down real quick. So we've got 4 Frostbite and the snow-covered land package. So when I was playing this morning, I did not have the snow lands, but I had the blue-red Snarl. But I just found I was getting run over a lot, and I wanted some more cheap interaction. So Frostbite fills that role nicely. We've got a couple of Disdainful Strokes. It's a pretty nice counterspell at the moment. Just catches a whole lot of things, even against some of the aggro decks. Expressive Iteration is a new card, 2 mana sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You can put 1 into your hand, 1 on the bottom of your library, and exile 1. You can play the exiled card this turn. Now it's important to note it says play the exile card, not cast the exiled card. Then that means we can exile a land and play the land because you don't cast lands. So on turn 3, I can play this, exile a land, play that as my land for turn, and this has basically become a 2 mana draw 2, which is pretty dope. You can also use that sequence on any subsequent turn where you haven't made your land drop yet. So yeah, that looks pretty good and pretty flexible. Does a lot for 2 mana, so we're just going to see how that goes. Couple of Brazen Borrower. I mean, it's a great card, but there's a lot of situations where it's not that great. So I've just got 2. I was playing with 4 this morning. Sip time, by the way. Was playing with 4 this morning, and I just drew them too much when I didn't want them. So we're going with 2. 2 seems like a good number. 2 is usually the number I start with in decks where I'm putting in Borrower. Just as strong as it is, it's just not always what you want, you know what I mean? We've got 3 Saw It Coming, just a nice catch-all counterspell, and you can foretell it and play it for 2, which is how much mana you get from the Goldspan treasure token. It's a classic old synergy. 4 Bone Crusher Giant, he needs no introduction. 2 Prismari Command, this is another new card. It's a 3 mana instant. You can choose 2, deal 2 damage to any target, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Well, target player does. Target player creates a treasure token and destroy target artifact. So this is really nice. It's probably my favourite of the command cycle from Strixhaven. Kind of reminds me of Cola Hands in a few ways. Oh, sorry, shaking my camera. But yeah, it's really flexible and does a lot of things that we're interested in, and also allows us to main deck some artifact hate, which is pretty powerful. But like often we will end up using this to deal 2 damage and create a treasure token, try to kill a thing, then ramp ourselves a bit. But sometimes the rummagey effect, pardon me, can be really good for us as well. And of course, sometimes destroying an artifact is dope. Playing this morning, I had some sequences against mono red where you could blow up a creature and an Embercleave, and it was pretty satisfying. We got 1 Behold the Multiverse, so we used to play 4 of these in these sorts of lists, but we got the 3 expressive iterations, so we're just going to see how that goes. Torrent Sculptor's a new one. It's a dual-faced one. So the side we're most likely to cast is Flamethrower Sonata. 2 mana sorcery, discard a card, draw a card. If you discard an instant or sorcery this way, deal damage equal to its mana value to a creature or planeswalker you don't control. So nice little piece of early interaction again. And we have the option of casting Torrent Sculptor if we want, which is a 4 mana 2/2 with Ward 2. So you can see the descriptor text up there, but yeah, just in brief, anything that an opponent casts that targets it is countered unless they pay the ward cost. In this case, 2 colorless. Sedgemoor Witch, for example, is 3 life, but that's how that works. We've got Galazeth Prismari, which is like Goldspan's dragon little cousin. The other big enabler in this deck. It's a 4 mana 3/4 with flying. When Galazeth Prismari enters the battlefield, you create a treasure token, and he gives treasures the ability to just tap to create a mana of any color, but only if you're casting an instant or sorcery, so you don't have to sacrifice it to cast instant or sorcery with this on the field. Goldspan Dragon, you know and love. 5 mana 4/4, flying haste. Whenever he attacks or becomes targeted, create a treasure token, and treasures pop for 2 mana instead of 1. And then as our top end, we've got Sublime Epiphany and Alrund's Epiphany. So I'm only playing 3 of these. I feel like this might not be quite enough, but as I said, this is kind of based off LSV's list, and I assume he knows better than I do, so I'm running with this. He had 3 Alrund's Epiphany, but I really want to see how Sublime Epiphany goes, because countering a spell and copying a dragon and drawing something and bouncing something is often as good, if not better, than taking an extra turn, and this one's instant speed as well. So it's something I wanted to try in the list of this I was brewing in my head. But as I said, I've made some compromises on what I was thinking to just try out LSV's list and see how that goes. Because as I said, I assume he knows better than I do. I wasn't going to use Torrent Sculptor. For example, I did want Galazeth, I did want Prismari Command. So this morning I was running 4 of these, and it really felt like too much. None of the modes are super powerful, and there's some redundancy with the 2 damage between that and Bone Crusher Giant. I wasn't playing as many counter spells. I wasn't playing as much card draw, which was a big problem. I was playing like 8 expensive spells, and I was often drawing them, just having to discard them to create a treasure token, which, it's nice to have that flexibility, but you're basically discarding a card to ramp once. Like, it's not super powerful, although I was running a Draconic Intervention as a sweeper, which is something I'll consider. But as I said, I erred very strongly towards LSV's list for this, so I'm just going to see how it goes, and I'll make changes as and when I see fit. Sideboard, 2 red cap melee. I think LSV was playing 3, but I've cut 1 to bring in Attempted by the Auric, because I just want to see how this goes. I like it. Which is a new one. 4 mana sorcery. For each opponent, gain control of up to 1 target creature or planeswalker with mana value 3 or less. So it is a lot harder to cast and later in the game, but damn, it's sexy. Got a few Ox of Agonis, another counterspell in Negate, some Shark Typhoons to help against Control and Rogues. Ox also helps against Rogues. Mind you, Rogues was one of the few decks that I did okay with against in Best of One. I just kept getting run over by aggro decks. Yeah, few Negates, some Mystical Dispute as well to help against Control and Rogues and stuff. So that's the list. We're just going to jump on in now. We are going to sleeve up. What sleeve do we want? I mean, this is the obvious one, but a little too obvious, you know what I mean? Sword. Command. Sword. Command. I think command. And okay, I don't have any styles to apply. Okay, no, I do. I do have some styles to apply. So styles have been applied. Let's jump on in and play some games. This isn't great, but I think it's capable. This looks like Rogues. This is looking a lot like Rogues. We'll just foretell this here. They can flash something in, that's fine. No flashies. Okay, bye-bye Prismari. I guess it's just Dimir control. That's cool. Don't mind me some Dimir control. Sure. Cycle a Cling to Dust, makes sense. No point just trying to fire off Goldspan Dragon right now. We've got to wait for one of us to flinch, I guess. That resolved so quickly. Maybe they've got Disdainful Stroke, though. Okay. Giant into my hand. You into my library. So we're just going to play the creature side of the giant. Yep, so it looks like they've got removal, but not counter spells. Maybe not even that. Extinction Event. Sure. So they've got 3 untapped mana. I need to work on my camera positioning. It's blocking my view of part of the screen. So I think we just go for this. Yep. They didn't have it last turn. I don't think they have it this turn. Get some more lands out of the deck. That's a nice one to top deck. Yep. Essence Scatter makes sense. So we saw with the Bone Crusher as well. It stuck on Bone Crusher, but it didn't stick on any of our spells. So Frostbites are unfortunately pretty much dead in this matchup. I'm assuming they have an answer for the Faceless Haven as well. But we shall see. Now, do we think this is a counterspell? Yep, fire off and eliminate. Fairly predictable. So I'm going to try and stomp them on their end step. That's what I'm going to do here, rather than just trying to play out the creature. Okay, so we'll stomp them here so they can't take the giant with predation. And they can counter it, that's fine, but predation does nothing other than give them information on my hand. See what they try to resolve. Knowing that my defenses are fairly down at the moment. Is that right, Blessed? Another frostbite, how wonderful. How wonderful. Shuffle is fine. Can't find a negator or saw it coming. Yep. Not going to counter that. Yep, that's fine. Tokens are providing a little bit of pressure, which is nice. And that'll do us for a turn. Wonder what they got. Cling to dust, sure. Draw a card. Ashiok, no. No thank you. That's gonna be a no from me, dog. Oh yes, they're actually spending removal on my tokens. That's really good for us. Does this exile? That's a bit sad. So I've only got like 2 mana things in there, so I can make a 4 mana 3/3. Or alternatively, I can discard a card and draw a card. Neither option is very appealing right now, so we're just going to hold it. See if a better use for it comes up a bit later. I mean, of course we would draw a second one. Shuffler's fine, guys. Shuffler is fine. So I am just going to cast one now that I have to. And the ward ability is not very helpful here. Yep, read the card, think about it, get in the tank. And this isn't a May effect either. Cool. Well, Disdainful Strike's going. I could have made a 4-4 actually. 4 mana 4-4 with Ward 2. That's not too terrible. Sure, I mean, I can keep doing this. I'm the one with pressure on the board. And burn spells. Foretell another counterspell. Next turn we might try for another Torrent Sculptor. But at the moment we can't hold up both of these if we do that. Dragon. I think we Sculptor first. I'd rather this get destroyed than Dragon. Okay. So 1.5 rounded up is 2. So, Expressive Iteration is a 3-drop. No, it's a 2-drop. Okay, yep, sorry. I thought that was Prismari Command. That's entirely me having a brain fart. I was thinking of Prismari Command. How much do I want to fight over this? Sure. We'll let it resolve. They could still have another counterspell here. Okay, so opponent is now dead to a stomp. Our shields are down, however, so if they have something big here, they can resolve it, which is a bit unfortunate. Cling to Dust, sure, draw a card. That's a good sign for us. Shows that they don't like their hand. They could just be testing if we have a counterspell. Nope, they scoop it up. Beautiful. Finally get a win. We get a win. So, Negate is good here. Typhoon is good here. I think Mystical Dispute's good, and the Ox is good. What things are not so good? I think this is okay. I didn't really like Torrent Sculptor there. I don't think Frostbite does much for us. Problem is I kind of like everything else we have access to. I think maybe we cut these though. I don't think tapping out on turn 4 is exactly what we want to do. At least with Goldspan, if when we tap out we can get in that turn as well. Yeah, maybe cut 1 Bone Crusher. I like having the Bone Crusher for early pressure, that's the only thing. But yeah, let's try like this. Man, those bird tokens from Epiphany did some work. Yep, opponent will be on the play. This hand is terrible. One land. Absolutely terrible. How gorgeous is this negate art though? Oh, I love it. I love it. Easy mulligan. Okay, this hand also sucks, but I think we just have to hope we can do something with it. I don't think double haven's where we need to be. At the very least, we can cycle a Typhoon to try and get something a little more helpful. End step, we can crack the passage. That's a little bit unfortunate, isn't it? What do they take? I mean, they're all decent cards. Borrower's probably the weakest. It's probably Epiphany. They're in the tank on it though. I hope it's Ox. I'm sure it won't be, but I hope it is. Yep. Good choice. We're going to grab blue. It's overall more important than the matchup. I know we might need double red for the Ox. We need double red for the Borrower as well, though. Of course we draw another Ox. Like, why wouldn't we? Okay, opponent foretells something. Let's just flash in the Borrower. Blow it up? No. Cool. Get in for 3 here. That's fine. I mean, we just have to let that happen, unfortunately. So we can hold up a counter spell here. Cycle this for 1. It's a bit sad, but our hand's a bit sad. Our hand is very sad. Being on 3 lands when your opponent is on 5 in a control mirror, not great. And look at this hand. Like, look at all the things we've drawn that aren't lands. Well, there's something. There's honestly no point for telling something. We can either play Behold the Multiverse at end step, or we can counter something. Like, it's not really making anything more efficient. And we can't afford to turn on the Haven at the moment, because if that gets blown up, we're just ruined. Negate, that's fine. That's a reasonable outcome. This is getting a little unreasonable. So of course we're going to hit like a big pocket of lands at a crucial time when we need to draw spells. That's been my experience the last couple of days. Just get absolutely land screwed, finally start hitting some lands, and then need some spells and never find them. Crawling Barrens could be a problem here. Sublime Epiphany can bounce it, potentially. Yep. Can't afford to take the trade with the Haven, unfortunately. We'll just chump block the Barons if we have to this turn. Ashiok. Saw it coming. Saw it coming of their own, I assume. Yep. Mystical Dispute. And now saw it coming. Yep. That's unfortunate. It's kind of fine though. So if they target the Goldspan dragon, we can use Prismari command to kill off Ashiok here. They do not target. Okay, yeah, no, this is good for us. They're tapping out. We are going to take a big hit. A big hit. Do we think this last card in their hand is a counterspell? Because the best thing we can possibly do is Sublime Epiphany. Oh no, we can't bounce the Barons. Okay, that was a mistake. Yeah, so we're going to do 2 damage and Rummage. Yeah, so we should have kept the shark back. I thought this could just bounce any creature. Okay, and this is not going to do it. I think we just die here. Bad plays there, but that is what happens when your bladder is very full. And I am back. We will of course take the play. What do we think about this hand? I think it's 2 lands feels a bit risky, but we can cycle the Typhoon. Yeah, we'll try it. We like to live dangerously here. But yeah, I'd really like it if this is not a repeat of the last game where we just get mana screwed for several turns. Which is realistically a large part of what cost us the game. Okay, there we go. So we'll flash in Brazen Borrower at end step most likely. Sedgemoor Witch. Nice. That is a nice card. We're just going to pay 3 life to Bone Crush it. Yep. That is a dope card though. See what else they've got for me. We could have also Mystical Disputed that, but it just seemed like such a good use for the giant, and the 3 life doesn't really bother me. Another Sedgemoor Witch. I think we just dispute that. Okay, so we have missed a land drop, which is a little bit unfortunate. Hopefully they don't have a 3rd witch. Ashiok. No thank you. Give them something to respond to. I know I could crack this to foretell, but it gives away what we're holding. Professor Onyx, huh? Sure. That's cute. Kill her off. So we can behold the multiverse here at end step if we'd like. We can Brazen Borrower something. And I think we would like. Don't think we need the giant at the moment. I like how quickly that resolved, so our opponent does not have a counterspell at the moment, is what that means. Let's cast this guy, see if we hit a land. We do. Oh, these are all such good options though. So I think Negate goes into our hand. Damn, I wish I'd cast this before combat. I could have played the other dragon. No, 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 no. No! No! That's not what I meant to do. That's not at all what I meant to do. Oh well. I meant to put the... I wasn't reading. I meant to put this into exile so I could play it. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh well. I'm not going to tap out to get another dragon. They could just extinction event. Behold. Sure. That really bothers me. I don't think I'm the only person who's going to be making that mistake. Sure. So they can take Borrower or they can take Ox. We don't care if they take Ox. Taking Borrower is kind of a feels bad, but we'd rather keep the negate. And they can't get negate with this. Yep, that is the correct choice. Man, I'm so bummed about that iteration. Play the card they know about. Move to attacks. Oh, give me a reason to negate. So now we can play the Ox and not feel bad because we're not really losing much. We are a little more vulnerable to an extinction event, which is why I'm not playing out the Bone Crusher Giant because everything's odd at the moment. Yeah. We'll hold up this as an instant speed gimmick. Man, they really hate this dragon. But yeah, I'm not above an end stepper homage with this to get rid of a couple of lands here. Do I want to create another treasure? I think I just want to do a bit of damage. I'm so happy for them to counter that. That is so fine by me. Yep, that's fine as well. Not going to fight over that. Okay, looks like we get it. Boom! That's how it's done, kids. And without access to, half your deck being from Eldraine. I mean, we have some Eldraine cards, don't get me wrong. I'm not very impressed with Sculptor and Sonata in this deck. Torrent Sculptor's almost never good. But also Sonata, there's not enough expensive instants and sorceries that this becomes effective removal, See what they play here. We take the 2. If they plonk down a Luminarch Aspirant, we want to have the Giant open. Okay, nope, they're just going to boast. That's fine. We're very happy with that. Very happy with that. And we'll just slap down a Giant. Make him deal with it. Yeah, your 1/1 token doesn't seem great now, does it? Spellbinder? Sure. They probably take the dragon. They should take iteration, though. Yep. Fool. Kill this thing off. And get in. Schmack. Yeah, take it. Yeah, what's your little token going to do? We can bounce the token if we want to get rid of it, but we'd rather bounce something a little more expensive. Man, 7 mana Goldspan Dragon. What a joke. They're probably never going to cast that. Sure, sure. Get in for 1. So there's no point trying to borrow something while they've got that open. That being the Alseid. We have ramped. And they die next turn if they don't find an answer. Feels good. How do they not know about the borrower? I'm fairly sure they should know about that. Didn't we have that in our opener? I don't know. Maybe I'm just going balmy. It is a Winota deck. So we do this now. They obviously pop their Alseid to protect it, but it means they only get 1 trigger off the doggo. They could have protected it. They could have just protected it. And now we just have a straight up counter. What were they thinking? What were they thinking? I don't understand these plays sometimes. I mean, I play counterspells. The game's over now. I do want to try playing Winota now, though. That seems good. Red Cap melee seems good here. Disdainful Stroke will hit Winota, so that seems good. Honestly, I think we're cutting this guy. These two guys have felt kind of underwhelming. I'm probably going to change them to Draconic Intervention, but I need to find better ways to get things into the yard at that point. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Strategic planning in place of expressive iteration might be the way forward. Ooh, that didn't sound good. Did you guys hear that? This seems like a terrible hand, but I'm going to keep it. We got a bit of early removal and a bounce spell, so should be able to keep their board relatively clear. That's the dream anyway. I should have let them learn first, but I didn't. It's unfortunate because it's 2 for 1 no matter what way you look at it. But oh, we can just bounce the token. Yeah, make a token. Spend your turn making a token. I dare you. I want you to. I want it so badly. Sure. We're gonna shoot the Alseid. Tap land here. Okay. Feeling okay. Obviously, like, it's hard because we're, like, a little bit behind. Little bit behind. Our seed. Okay, so I can... Two damage, treasure token. So I can do a little bit of this. And then when they crack that passage, assuming they crack that passage, we can clear up the owl seed with a Bone Crusher Giant. Crack the passage. Crack the passage. Ah, they don't. Okay, so we still need to go for this to get it off the board, so they can't protect Winota next turn. Yep. Really wanted to hit a land there. Really wanted to hit a land. Okay, this is not Winota turn. That's good for us. Okay. Bounce Winota again. We're obviously falling behind in terms of life.
Yeah. Thank you.
But I think we might be getting there. And missing land drops is pretty brutal as well. Yep, that's fine. The warrior token doesn't trigger Winota. So we're going to set some stops here just to bluff, basically. Maybe I should have just gone for the dragon. Okay, they call our bluff. 2 triggers, yep. Hopefully they don't hit anything too damaging. Ugh, that's pretty damaging. Yeah, they're both pretty... Yeah, that's a yikes from me. No, that has indestructible. 2, 4, 3, 6. Yeah, I think no matter what way we look at it, we're dead here. Let's just move on. That's unfortunate. That is a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, let's just keep like this, I think. And hopefully being on the play will get us over the line. Missing a land drop there was pretty painful as well, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so our opponent's making some changes in their sideboarding. I wonder what they're bringing in. I guess their deck plays a little more differently on the play versus on the draw. Does it? I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my butt. I mean, it's a pretty big difference for my deck as well. I don't think this is good enough. put you back because these two can enter a Winota. This can help us hit land drops and such. I mean, sorry, Coming can also enter a Winota, so there's that. Asha, sure. Yep. Tap land, go. Doggo. A little bit unfortunate, so we will need to counter a Winota. That's going to be our game plan. Winota can't come down this turn, so we're going to wait and see what they do. We're going to wait and see is what we're going to do. And close the door. Yep, so countering Winota is going to be our plan, at any rate. Sure, swing in. Bonk, bonk. Okay. I think it's just treasure time. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Don't you just hate it? Don't you just hate it? So if I play this and I don't hit a land, we could just die to a Winota. Yep, so we counter him. We don't want him getting in our hand. Kill off the Usher. Oh, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. I needed that in my hand for the Sonata. Didn't think about that. Ooh. Okay. Never punished. Never punished. Life total is so low. Ugh. Hate it. Hate it. Mind you, we kept a pretty bad hand, so being behind in this game, not surprising at all. Spirit summoning, sure. Create a couple of birdos. Stroke is nice. Iteration into hand. Haven onto the bottom. Fabled will be our land drop. Okay, let's see what we got here. Winota. No, thank you. Attacko. Yep. Block like so. Ah, this is a sorcery. Oops. I really thought that was an instant. Oh no. Oh no. I'm an idiot. Alright. So that's enough of that for now. So we're going to make a little change here. Yep. After we finish waiting for the server, we're going to make a little change here. Any minute now. Yeah, this is what Australian internet's like, in case anyone's wondering. So, look, it is better in a lot of places. The place I'm in is not a great area for internet, and we are still using ADSL too. So, yeah, it's slow. My phone internet is actually a fair bit faster. So, what I want is this card. The problem is we don't have enough big things that go into the graveyard. I really haven't liked Torrent Sculptor. So we're going to look at the Strixhaven Ditch It to create a treasure. So Creative Outburst, Magma Opus, Culmination of Studies. There is another one though. Maybe it's a common. Yeah, Elemental Masterpiece. I don't think we're interested in Masterpiece. What does Opus do? I mean, a lot, but it just costs so much. And like for 8 mana, I can take another turn, you know. What about, so, not Strixhaven. Seize the Spoils is an option. I just didn't really find there were any times I was really happy playing this guy. So I think I can cut him. 3 intervention. Maybe a couple of outbursts. And let's see what our other removal options are. Blitz. I don't see that being particularly good. Cinderclasm. Fire Prophecy. I mean, Scorching Dragonfire is the obvious answer, but it's good to just check what else we can have. For Slaying Fire, Shackles of Treachery, Dragon's Approach. I'd love to fit in a Valakut, but I don't know how that would work with the snow package. And I think having the 1 mana option on it is pretty important. We might find that the damage aspect is less important now that we've got the interventions, however. So gorgeous. I'll try a single seize the spoils. I just wish it was instant, you know. Maybe we'll just keep in one copy of this and see how it goes. Because, I mean, it can be really powerful in the right situation, particularly if you can dump one of these early and get this out. So, yeah, we'll make those changes and we'll see how we go from there. Alright, I think that's it for now. Yeah, so it seems fun, but it has some of the same problems that the Izzet list, Dragon list, ran into in the last standard. I don't know that it's powerful enough, unfortunately. Obviously, when Eldraine rotates, we will lose some power in Bonecrusher Giant and Brazen Borrower, but I think this deck might be better after then, with the overall power level of the format drops off a little bit. I think the sideboard probably needs a little bit of work as well. We'll get some Soul Seer, I think. I think we want some Soul Seer, just to have some sort of chance against a Lovestruck Beast. And we can probably afford to cut a negate for that. Because we have quite a few counter spells already, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to try this. Actually, you know what? I think 2 Oxen might be the future. Cool. So we're going to try like this, and yeah, I'll let you know in the next video how that's going. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and stay brilliant.